Good morning, everybody. Dr. Price here. So far, no baby. We'll see what happens today. But yesterday I posted a video of my adjusting my daughter Lorelei. She's 2 years old, and as you can see, the adjustments that we do on children are a lot more, they're very gentle. It doesn't take a lot of pressure to move the joints in a baby's spine. And the importance of doing an adjustment with a child, especially her age, is that quite often the birthing process itself can be traumatic to the spine. You know, with the tugging and the pulling and the twisting, it can be very traumatic. So if uncorrected in the infant phase, that those subluxations or the pressure in the nerve can stay there and continue to fester, and as the child starts to get older and they start growing, they grow into those incorrect positions. So if you have children with chronic ear infections, allergies, colic, ADHD, all kinds of different conditions can come from these chronic subluxations. Again, my kids have all been adjusted. Zoe was 1 day old when she was adjusted. Phoenix was 3 days old, and I think Lorelei was a day or 2 days old when they received their first adjustment, and they do get adjusted regularly. And in children, it's really important because, as I said, they're forming and they're growing, so you want that nervous system functioning at its optimal level. This has allowed us with our children, fortunately, to, none of them have antibiotics in the last 7 years. As I mentioned on the blog yesterday, Zoe and Phoenix each had antibiotics, 1 dose when they were younger. And if I had it all to do over again, I would have done the antibiotics on Phoenix because it was a situation that warranted it. But with Zoe, I would not have done hers. I just didn't know enough to argue with the emergency room physician, and that's a whole long story. She had woken up in the middle of the night with night terrors, screaming, and freaked Kelly and I out. We were still in school, and we took her to the emergency room. We didn't know what was going on. She had a slight fever, but the fever was from teething. So anyway, that's a long story. I would not have done those antibiotics with her, but like I said, Finn, I would have done his dose because he had something that he actually needed the antibiotics for. But again, this has allowed us to go through their lives with, 1 dose of antibiotics for both of my older children and none for Lorelei. Knock on wood, we've had, none of the kids have had vaccines. We haven't had any issues with that. They do get sick occasionally, but we let their immune systems run their course, and they always beat it. And we adjust them, and we use supplements with them. So, children are primed for natural health care. Their immune systems, their innate healing abilities are all there. And if we can keep those things functioning, and then as they move into adulthood, they can function closer to 100% as adults. Whereas if they are left with these subluxations, this nerve pressure in their spine, and they're beginning the process of malnutrition through poor diet, as they get older, they seem like they're fine as they're children, but as they get older and they start losing this flexibility to overcome these injuries, then that's when we start having chronic problems. So what can cause a subluxation in children? Number 1, the birthing process. Number 2, learning how to walk. They're falling all the time. Any kind of impact like that, when they hit that ground, the ground doesn't give, their body does, and the part of the body that gives in a child is their spine. So learning how to walk. Anytime they're playing around and they fall, if they fall off of a bed, if they hit their head on something, all these little traumas can lead to these subluxations in their spine, and they don't come out on their own. They have to be removed. Like I said, you may not notice the effects of it. They may not walk around saying their back hurts or their neck hurts or they have headaches, but they may have ear infections, or there may be some kind of a malfunction going on that you can't see and that you're not aware of. So it is very important to have children checked. It's very important to maintain their adjustments, especially at their young age. It doesn't take 30 visits like it does as a grown-up. I mean, you can adjust a baby, once, and they could hold for months unless they have a fall or something. So it's very, very inexpensive to keep your children functioning at 100%, and it gives them a head start in life. So just something to think about. Now that you've seen the adjustment on the previous video, you can understand that it's not an aggressive adjustment. It's something that's very, very well tolerated by children. My daughter, every time she comes in the office, she asks for it. Most of the time I have to fake it because she doesn't need it, but she every single time wants to get up on that table and get her pop-pops. So yeah, that's the story. And if you want some more information on the effects of subluxations and everything that goes along with it, you can go back into the video series that I did about a month and a half ago. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy that. And again, my hope for you is that you take control of your health before your health takes control of you, and your children's health is critical. Take control of their health while they're fresh and undamaged beings, and we can get in there and keep them that way. All right, have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. But if not, that means we have a baby. All right, you take care, guys. Bye-bye.